Welcome, Marvel fans and fans of action figures. This is like it's 1985. Today's review, we're going to take a look at Cyclops from the Marvel Legends ToyBiz Sentinel Series line. Here we have Cyclops in package. He has 32 points of articulation, and he comes with the left arm of the Sentinel Build-A-Figure. And looking at the back, we of course got the mugshot of Cyclops firing his optic laser, and his stats, and the bio. And welcome back. Once you get Cyclops out of his packaging, you do get the accessory of a clear plastic stand. Again, this will plug into the back of the figure. And you do get the comic. In this case, it's the Uncanny X-Men, number 201, with the provocative title, Who Will Lead Them? And the interesting apparent power struggle between Storm and Cyclops. Now, I haven't read this, but it looks like an interesting read just based on the cover and what they're implying on the cover. But you do get the full comic with modern day as far as 2005 modern day ads within the comic. So very nice. And finally, you get the other arm and coil piece for the Build-A-Figure for Sentinel. Now on to the figure himself, Cyclops. No, he's not saluting. He actually is posed so that he can actually control the beam energy that's coming out of his visor. If you're familiar with the Cyclops in the comics or in the animated show, you know how that works. So on to articulation. The head can look left and right, and actually can go 360 quite easily. It looks like it has the hinge joint, but it's not it's quite as versatile as some of the other figures that I reviewed in the Marvel Legends Sentinel Series line, but it can look down like that. Shoulder joint. Ball hinge shoulders, so actually it's got a joint there, and then you got a joint at the upper arm, a double bend in the elbow, as you can see. No articulation in the forearm. The wrist is just on that pin joint or the swivel joint, or whatever you want to call it. And then the thumb is not movable, and the four fingers are fused together on one joint. Now, this guy does not have any ab articulation to speak of. He's got waist articulation, which is alright. Then you've got the different type of joint than we've seen up until now. It's go out like that, can go forward at kind of an angle, can go back very slightly. There is a cut or a swivel at the upper thigh, double jointed knee, very cool. No articulation in the calf area. Then you got the hinged ankle and a little bit of side-to-side movement in the foot. And then you got toe articulation. There's a toe joint here, right there. So that's pretty much it for Cyclops. Now, someone asked me whether these comics were thrown in there just to tease you, and that they were there just to try to get you to buy more comics. Well, of course they're put in there to allow you to be interested in buying more comics. But the nice thing about these particular issues is they actually have something to do with the character, whether it's the actual character or the design of the figure that's supposed to represent the character in the actual issue. And this is the case where we look at the cover, and you can see how the design there is similar to what you have in the figure. If we go back and look on another page here, we have more shots of Cyclops, and you'll see here how he has the X there at his waist, and then he has these yellow, what can only be described, I think, as out, kind of wearing his underwear on the outside that happens to be yellow. Well, he's got the X here. It's kind of a different design, but he's got the X on his waist area where his belt would be. He's got the yellow underwear or overwear, whatever you want to call it. He's got the yellow gloves. So his design in the comic is definitely present in the figure, which is nice. As far as what I think about this figure as compared to the figures so far in the line, I know that the next review will be the last of the individual figure reviews and will be the first appearance Spider-Man, so I'm pretty sure that I'm going to like Spider-Man better than this guy. Cyclops is a cool character, but the figure itself, I would say maybe my least favorite one, although Mystique has some issues too, so I think he falls down towards the bottom of the pile in my estimation as to what I feel about the figure. It's not as articulate as some of the other figures. Like he only has like 32 points of articulation, and the others have 36, 40 points of articulation. So there's that. But then there's also design. My personal taste is toward the Jim Lee design of Cyclops that was in the comics like in the early 90s, and I believe was also the influence for the design in the early 90s X-Men animated cartoon. I like the Jim Lee design of Cyclops better than this. So already there I'm biased against this figure, but it's more to do with the design of the or interpretation of Cyclops rather than anything wrong with the figure necessarily. I also like, if you're familiar with the more recent cartoon called Wolverine and the X-Men, I like the Cyclops that they have in there as well. With he has a long trench coat on, really kind of more of a badass type of Cyclops, kind of a darker Cyclops figure and character. So anyhow, this has been my review of the Marvel Legends ToyBiz Cyclops figure from the Sentinel Series line. Next up is the 7th figure and last figure in the line will be the first appearance Spider-Man. So that review will be coming up next. And then after that will be the big guy himself, the Build-A-Figure Sentinel.